To help others see you when daylight begins to fade, you should use your A. Parking lights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Emergency flashers. B. Low beam headlights. As daylight begins to fade, turn on your low beams to help others see you. Only use your high beam headlights in an open area where no other drivers are present. If oncoming headlights are blinding you while you are driving at night, you should A. Look toward the right edge of the road. B. Switch your lights to high beams. C. Turn your lights on and off. A. Look toward the right edge of the road. If the headlights of an oncoming vehicle are blinding, glance toward the right edge of the road instead of looking directly ahead. This should keep your vehicle safely on the road until you pass the oncoming vehicle. This sign means A. No left turn. B. Flagger ahead. C. Two-way left turn. D. Turn right or go through. A. No left turn. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign means that left turns are prohibited. Which of the following statements about blind spots is true? A. They are eliminated if you have one outside mirror on each side of the vehicle. B. Large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. C. Blind spots can be checked by looking in your rearview mirrors. B. Large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. Blind spots are areas that a driver cannot see if they look in their mirrors. Large trucks have large blind spots that drivers of other vehicles should avoid.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Drivers who have consumed alcohol before getting behind the wheel. A. Are always aware of the risks they are taking. B. Do not have sufficient control over their bodies and minds or the vehicles being driven. C. Are better drivers because they are more careful than sober drivers. D. Have quicker reaction times. B. Do not have sufficient control over their bodies and minds or the vehicles being driven. Alcohol is a depressant that negatively affects judgment, vision, concentration, understanding of reality, and reaction time. It is never safe to consume alcohol in any amount before getting behind the wheel of a car. As you near an intersection, the traffic light changes from green to yellow. Your best action is to A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Apply the brakes sharply to stop. C. Be prepared to stop in the center of the intersection. D. Be prepared to stop before the intersection. D. Be prepared to stop before the intersection. A steady yellow traffic light indicates that the light will soon change to red. You should be prepared to stop for the red light, if it is safe to do so. Don't follow other cars too closely because A. You may not see the road between the cars. B. You may not have time to stop if the vehicle in front of you slows or stops suddenly. C. You may not see the vehicle's turn signals. D. You may not see the other vehicle's brake lights. B. You may not have time to stop if the vehicle in front of you slows or stops suddenly. If you follow too closely and the vehicle in front of you slows or stops suddenly, you may not have enough time to avoid a collision. If you have a sudden tire blowout, A. Use the brakes lightly. B. Pump the brakes. C. Apply the brakes firmly. A. Use the brakes lightly. If a tire suddenly goes flat while you are driving, hold the steering wheel tightly and keep the vehicle moving straight. Slow down gradually by taking your foot off the gas pedal and using the brakes lightly. When you are behind a motorcycle, you should A. Be ready to use your horn. B. Drive more slowly. C. Allow a larger following distance. C. Allow a larger following distance. When following a motorcyclist, allow for at least a 3 to 4 second following distance. Motorcycles can stop quickly and following them too closely endangers your life and that of the motorcyclist. If the motorcyclist should fall, you need extra distance to avoid the rider. The chances of a fall are greatest on wet and icy roads, gravel roads, and metal surfaces such as bridges, gratings, and streetcar or railroad tracks. You are approaching an intersection where a traffic signal is displaying a steady yellow light. If you have not already entered the intersection, you should A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Reduce your speed and proceed carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a safe stop. C. Come to a safe stop. At an intersection controlled by a steady yellow light, you should bring your vehicle to a safe stop. If you are already within the intersection when the light changes from green to yellow, continue through the intersection at a safe speed. At intersections with a yield sign, you must A. Yield the right-of-way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. B. Yield the right-of-way only to vehicles on your right. C. Always slow down and proceed without stopping. A. Yield the right-of-way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. At a yield sign, you must slow down or stop, if necessary, and give the right-of-way to crossing or merging vehicles. Yield the right-of-way to any cross traffic that is close enough to cause conflict. Reduce your speed when A. The road is icy. B. There is dense fog. C. It is raining. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. The maximum speed limit should be driven only under ideal conditions. You must reduce your speed when safety requires it, such as during snowy, icy, rainy, or foggy weather. This sign means A. No right turn. B. You must turn right. C. Watch for traffic on your right. D. Don't park on the right side of the street. A. No right turn. A sign with a red circle and slash over a symbol indicates that the action represented by the symbol, in this example, a right turn, is not allowed. This road sign means A. One-way road. B. No right turn. C. Exit. D. Sharp right turn in the road ahead. D. Sharp right turn in the road ahead. This sign indicates that there is a sharp right turn ahead. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. green, red, yellow. A. Red, yellow, green. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers about the presence of traffic signals at an intersection ahead. The no zone is a term used to describe blind spots around a truck or bus. B. A special speed zone. C. A roadway with restrictions on vehicle stereo volume. D. The television show that replaced the Twilight Zone. A term used to describe blind spots around a truck or bus. A truck or bus has blind spots on each side, in the rear, and in the front. An automobile cannot be seen in these blind spots. These blind spots are referred to as the no zone. This sign means A. No passing zone. B. Slow-moving vehicle. C. Two-way traffic. A. No passing zone. A triangular yellow sign with black lettering indicates a no passing zone. It will appear on the left side of a two-way, two-lane roadway at the beginning of an area where prohibitive pavement markings are also used. Unless otherwise posted, the maximum speed limit in a business or residential area is A. 20 miles per hour. B. 30 miles per hour. C. 45 miles per hour. D. 55 miles per hour. B. 30 miles per hour. When driving in a business or residential area, the maximum speed limit is 30 miles per hour. If a different speed limit is posted, follow the posted speed limit. At an intersection with stop signs on all corners, yield the right-of-way to any driver. A. On your left. B. Who arrived before you. C. Across from your vehicle. B. Who arrived before you. After coming to a full stop, vehicles should proceed through a four-way stop in the order in which they arrive to the intersection. If multiple vehicles arrive at the same time, the vehicle on the left must yield the right-of-way to the vehicle on the right. Traffic signals sometimes display arrows to control turns from specific lanes. A solid yellow arrow, A, is never used as a traffic signal. B, has the same meaning as a circular yellow traffic light. C, means that drivers may turn in the direction indicated by the arrow. D, tells drivers that a green arrow is about to be shown. B, has the same meaning as a circular yellow traffic light. A solid yellow arrow has the same meaning as a yellow traffic light. When approaching a solid yellow arrow, you must reduce your speed and prepare for a red light. There are two traffic lanes moving in your direction. You are driving in the left lane and many vehicles are passing you on the right. If the driver behind you wishes to drive faster, you should A. Stay in your lane so you don't impede the flow of traffic. B. Drive onto the left shoulder to let the other vehicles pass. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. To drive quickly, pass, or turn left, use the left lane. Use the right lane when driving more slowly than surrounding traffic, entering the road, or turning right. If traffic signals at an intersection are not functioning due to a power outage, A. Park your vehicle as far off the road as possible and wait for power to be restored. B. Use hand signals to indicate your intentions to other drivers. C. Turn on your hazard lights and proceed through the intersection without stopping. D. Treat the intersection as a four-way stop. D. Treat the intersection as a four-way stop. If a traffic light at an intersection is not functioning due to a power outage, yield to other drivers in the same manner as you would when approaching a four-way stop. When it is your turn, proceed through the intersection with caution. If an aggressive driver cuts you off, you should A. Call the police immediately. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. C. Flash your vehicle's lights to let the aggressive driver know he is wrong. D. Use a driving action of your own to get back at the aggressive driver. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. If an aggressive driver cuts you off on the roadway, stay calm and get out of their way. Trying to get even with an aggressive driver risks escalating the situation and increasing the danger. To reduce the effects of headlight glare at night, you should look A. Straight ahead. B. Over your shoulder. C. At the center of the road. D. To the right edge of the road. D. To the right edge of the road. If oncoming drivers do not dim their headlights for you, keep your eyes on the right side of the road ahead. Do not look directly at the oncoming headlights because the glare may blind you for several seconds. This sign means A. You are approaching the end of a divided highway. B. You are approaching the beginning of a divided highway. C. The road will be slippery ahead. B. You are approaching the beginning of a divided highway. This sign indicates that a divided highway begins ahead. Keep to the right of the median divider.